for a while and going back and forth, but I've decided that it's time for me to leave the show at the end of the season.
Sara Gilbert's story is one of quiet strength. To millions, she'll always be Darlene Connor, the sarcastic, sharp-tongued daughter from Roseanne. But behind that confidence was a girl trying to find her place in a world that often misunderstood her. Her life has been a blend of early fame, family challenges, and personal discovery. Through heartbreak, self-doubt, and reinvention, Sara never stopped searching for truth, both on screen and within herself. A childhood in the shadows of Hollywood. Born Sarah Rebecca Abeliz on January 29, 1975, in Santa Monica, California, Sara was destined to be around show business. Her grandfather created The Honeymooners, her mother was a producer, and her half-siblings, Melissa and Jonathan Gilbert, were already stars on Little House on the Prairie. Yet, even in a family of success, Sara often felt alone. Her father's financial struggles after her parents' divorce forced her to take on adult responsibilities far too young. By her teens, she was not only supporting herself, but also helping her father financially, a burden no teenager should bear. Acting became her escape. It was where she could be anyone, or maybe, finally, herself. Fame too early. At 13, Sara's life changed forever when she was cast as Darlene Connor in Roseanne. The show was a phenomenon, and Sara's dry humor and wit made her a standout. But fame at that age came with pressure. While other kids were figuring out who they were, Sara was doing it under the spotlight. She later admitted that she often felt shy and isolated, even as millions watched her every move. Between filming and school, she barely had time to be a teenager. Still, she stayed grounded, focusing on her studies and eventually earning a degree from Yale, proving that success didn't have to mean losing yourself completely. Love, identity, and acceptance. While growing up on Roseanne, Sara began to understand herself in ways she couldn't yet explain. She dated her co-star Johnny Galecki, but instead of feeling joy, she often felt sadness and confusion. Eventually, she realized the truth. She was gay. To her relief, Johnny was kind and supportive, remaining one of her closest friends. But Sara wasn't ready to share that truth with the world just yet. For years, she hid her identity, fearing how Hollywood would react. When she finally came out publicly in 2010 on The Talk, she said it was one of the hardest yet most freeing moments of her life. Family, heartbreak, and finding balance. Sara's personal life has seen both beautiful beginnings and painful endings. With writer Alison Adler, she built a loving home and welcomed 2 children. After their separation, she found love again with musician Linda Perry. The two married in 2014 and had a son, Rhodes. But by 2019, the marriage had ended. Still, Sara and Linda remain close friends and devoted co-parents. Through it all, Sara learned that love doesn't always last forever. But family, in its many forms, does. Courage in chaos. Professionally, Sara showed the same resilience. When Roseanne returned in 2018, she helped bring it back, only to watch it collapse under controversy. The fallout was painful, but she stayed true to her values, helping create The Connors and continuing the story without its original star. As a producer, she also built The Talk, a show that pushed her out of her comfort zone and forced her to open up publicly. After 9 seasons, she stepped away, realizing she needed to reclaim time for her children and her own peace. A story of strength and healing, Sara Gilbert has spent her life growing up in front of the world, from a quiet child actor to a woman who has faced love, loss, and reinvention. Her courage to live authentically, even when it came with pain, is what makes her story powerful. She's learned that healing isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about finding balance in the mess. Through every heartbreak and every triumph, Sara reminds us that survival isn't about strength alone. It's about honesty, heart, and the quiet resilience of never giving up.